completely exhausted Lily entered her room. Her expressions were lifeless, her eyes bloodshot and puffy, as if they carried an unbearable weight of anger or guilt. In reality, she held both. She was drowning in guilt, but slowly that guilt began to fade under the anger she felt toward herself. The situation had worsened, yet Lily never let the outside world see the unstable war raging inside her. She closed the door and stared at the wall, zoning out for a minute or two. Suddenly, she screamed at the top of her lungs, "Ah!" releasing the turmoil trapped within her. The room was soundproof, so not a single sound escaped. Her hands and legs trembled as her entire body began to shiver violently. She crawled into a corner of the room and wrapped her arms tightly around herself. But the shivering didn't stop. It felt as though an icy chill had taken over her body. She rubbed her arms desperately, trying to warm herself, but nothing worked in her favor. After a few more minutes, she gave up. Resting her head against the wall, she stared at the ceiling with tired, hollow eyes. I'm exhausted from fighting," Lily whispered weakly as tears welled up. "Fighting the world can still be easy at times, but fighting yourself." She hid her face in her palms. But as she closed her eyes, everything went dark. Once again, she fell into her past, and the entire story began replaying in front of her eyes. She tried to move, but her body was frozen. She couldn't move or do anything at all. Her past was the greatest threat to herself, and the sleep paralysis attack showed her no mercy. After a few minutes, the paralysis finally ended. Completely exhausted, Lily's body tilted forward. She had no energy left. She collapsed onto the floor. Tears continued to stream down her face, and her body was still shivering violently. She lay there in the same position for nearly half an hour until she felt difficulty breathing. Slowly, she turned and lay flat on her back. Lily's tear-streaked face looked terrifying, furious and miserable at the same time. But why did it carry two such different emotions together? "I agree what I did was wrong, and I don't deserve to live. But what about you, Lily? The pain I gave her is nothing compared to the pain you inflicted on her. She kept begging for love. What did you do? I harmed her body, but you killed her soul long before that. If my death is justified, then shouldn't your end be inevitable too? Be fair, darling." Claire's words echoed in Lily's ears when a voice from within asked, "Do you love Elena?" She paused for a second and whispered, "Yes." "Then don't cause her any more pain," her inner self replied. I don't hurt her," Lily murmured miserably yet innocently. "I don't even go near her, thinking it might hurt her." "Still was what you did right?" her inner self questioned. "No, I never said that the sin I committed, what I did, was right." "But your actions say something else. How can you stay here and give the one you love even more pain? You've already crushed her soul. What is left now? Or is the game of Miss Officer Lily still not over yet?" Lily's inner self mocked her. Lily was already in one of her most vulnerable states, and the continuous harsh questions from her other self felt like tight slaps across her face. Those questions began to make her doubt her own pure love. Yes, she loved Elena with her whole heart, but the circumstances were never in her favor. Faced with her inner self's accusations, she went numb and speechless, unable to respond. "Your silence shows, Lily, that you're here out of obsession, not love." Her inner self giggled at the misery of the fragile human, enough to make Lily lose her control. "Shut up," she screamed, slamming her fist hard against the floor. Tears of anger streamed down her face as her skin flushed red. I'm not playing any game. I love her with my whole heart. Why can't you understand? Leaving her is impossible for me. She is a part of me. Please, please trust me," Lily pleaded through sobs and hiccups, trying desperately to make her other self understand. "Fine, I accept that you're madly in love with her and that you're not playing games. But what about the scars you've already given her? You're punishing Claire for her deeds. But aren't you the one who has inflicted the most brutal wounds on her? You're planning to kill Claire soon, but what about you, Lily? How can you ignore your own sins? You deserve a brutal death too. Stop playing around and end it by punishing Elena's greatest destroyer. Only then will you find peace," her inner self said, manipulating Lily at her weakest moment. Will Elena be happy after that? Lily asked faintly. She will get justice, and that is what should matter. Get up, Lily, and finish it. Get up. Lily's inner self began taking control over her body. Her mind stopped functioning as she pushed herself up, using the floor and then the wall for support, until she finally stood on her feet. That's my brave woman. Move forward, Lily. Punish the one who caused her pain. Move forward, it's time for justice. Her inner self commanded, and Lily moved like a puppet. Lily had lost both control and self-awareness. She was only listening to that untouched shade hidden deep inside her, filled with guilt and hatred toward herself. Completely numb, she kept walking forward as instructed by the inner voice. The room ended, and the balcony began. She walked up and stood near the wide railing. Get on the railing, the voice commanded. Lily obeyed. She placed one foot on the railing, then the other, standing there without any support. Her room was on the second floor, and if she fell from that height, it was obvious that only a miracle could save her. Jump, Lily, jump, the inner voice screamed, making her heart race uncontrollably. She looked down and lifted her leg into the air. Thunderstorms roared across the dark sky, while Lily still hadn't regained her consciousness. Jump, the voice shouted again. She leaned forward, about to jump from the height, when suddenly something echoed in her ears. I love YOUs, Lily. I can't live without you. Elena's words from the past echoed in Lily's ears, pulling her out of that evil loop. She regained consciousness and froze in shock when she realized she was standing on the balcony railing, about to jump. She immediately pushed herself backward and collapsed onto the balcony floor. Lily clutched her head between her palms and mumbled. What was I about to do? No, I can't let this happen before Claire's death. I know you're absolutely right, but you can't overpower me before I complete my oath, Lily said as she struggled back onto her feet. She rushed inside her room and yanked open the drawer of the table placed near the couch. From it, she took out a small sheet that looked like colored stickers and peeled one off. She paused for a moment before taking the next step, then opened her mouth and placed the sticker-like thing under her tongue. After that, she settled onto the couch. Her body began losing strength as she leaned completely against the backrest. Her eyelids slowly closed, and then suddenly opened wide again. Minutes passed as her eyelids started fluttering uncontrollably. Her body temperature began to rise, and her pupils started dilating. She felt as if she were moving at the speed of light, as though the surroundings were flooding with bright colors, while her body remained still, until she heard a voice. Hey there. Lily looked up, and a bright smile spread across her face. You've come, she whispered. The person, standing in front of her, simply nodded. Missed me, the figure asked. Missed you? I was fucking dying for you. Why do you always make me wait, huh? Can't you stay with me here? Why is it always me who has to come into your world? Why can't you come into mine? Lily complained. The other woman chuckled at Lily's adorable behavior and settled beside her. I can't come into your world, baby, because there's already someone real present there. And to escape that reality, you've started coming into my world. Elena, leave all this and just love me, nah. At least here, don't bring these things, Lily said, swinging her hands in the air as if she were hugging someone. But in reality, there was no one in the room except her. Okay, darling. So today, which place would you like to explore with me? Elena's hallucinated figure asked. I want to explore so many places with you, but not today. I'm dead tired. I just want to rest my head in your lap and watch the bright, shining stars with some wine until I pass out, Lily said excitedly, laying her head on the couch, imagining it was Elena's lap. How about we explore the stars on a moving yacht in the middle of the lake? The delusion suggested, gently caressing Lily's hair. Sure, Lily murmured, and the very next second she found herself on the floor of a moving yacht. She could hear the sound of water cutting through the lake, accompanied by soft ripples. The atmosphere was cold and dark. The sky was filled with countless bright stars, while only a few lights glowed on the yacht. Lily was lying outside the cabin, her head resting in her beloved's lap. The delusion was gazing at the sky when she suddenly felt an intense stare. She looked down at Lily and found her watching her with calm, peaceful eyes. "Lily, we're here to explore the stars. If you keep looking only at me, the stars might feel bad," Elena's delusion said in a voice filled with love. "Let them feel bad. I'll always give more importance to my moon than to the stars," Lily said in a flirtatious tone, forming a cute pout as she continued gazing at the delusion's face. The delusion chuckled and placed a gentle kiss on Lily's petal-soft lips. "All right, go ahead. After all, this place is ruled by you," the delusion murmured, allowing Lily to do whatever she wished. Hours passed, yet Lily kept staring at the face of the delusional Elena, her longing refusing to fade. Finally, the delusion spoke. "It's high time, babe. I have to go now. It's time to sleep." The peace on Lily's face vanished instantly. She cupped the delusion's face in her hands. "Please no, stay a little longer," she begged softly. "Sorry, John, that's not possible. Don't worry, I'll come back," the delusion replied, placing a kiss on Lily's forehead. Then she slowly moved her palm down from her forehead to her eyes, gently closing them. The surroundings began to return to normal, but before the change could fully settle in, sleep overtook Lily. She drifted off, still lying on the couch.